being here. Thank you, Ken Revive, for inviting me to talk about clinical trials. I am very honoured to be here today.
首先大家好啦，我哋都再一次感謝大家嘅光臨，同埋好感謝更生會嘅邀請嚟到喺呢度同大家做分享嘅。
I'm here today to talk about clinical trials, cancer clinical trials, and the work we conduct at the Cancer Institute to increase awareness and knowledge in clinical trials.
咁今日咧，我嘅分享嘅主題就係臨床實驗啦，係關於癌症方面嘅臨床實驗嘅。我哋亦都係一路致力於咧，希望可以提高大家對於臨床實驗嘅意識啦，同埋對於臨床實驗咧有一個更加好嘅了解同埋明白嘅。
So, when a person is diagnosed with cancer, there are several things to consider. What treatment can I have? How much the cancer treatment will cost me? How much my family support me? Can I still support my family? And how do I travel back and forth from hospital?
當我哋一開始可能啱啱被診斷出有癌症嘅時候咧，可能亦都會喺腦海中出現好多唔同嘅呢一個問題啦，包括話有冇啲咩治療咧，我可以接受啲咩治療，治療需唔需要使錢，要使幾多錢咧？包括我嘅屋企人可以點樣支持我咧？或者我患咗癌症之後，仲可唔可以養妻活兒咧？等等，包括如果我要去醫院嘅話，點樣去咧？呢啲一系列嘅問題嘅。
There are many things to organize, and they may not be discussions about clinical trials. It's difficult to navigate the healthcare system. It's complex, the language is full of jargons, and a lot of understanding is required.
咁有好多嘅呢啲雖然比較繁瑣啦，但係可能咧喺去醫院嘅期間咧，都會有人幫我哋安排或者去處理等等嘅。但係其中咧，可能臨床實驗咧係比較少會提到嘅。同時間咧，好似我哋啱啱講到咁樣，澳洲嘅醫療系統咧係相對嚟講比較複雜嘅。喺語言唔通嘅情況底下，又有好多呢啲嘅專業名詞嘅時候咧，的確係好難可以去獲得自己所需要嘅醫療嘅。
Clinical trials are part of the healthcare system. Clinical trials offer cutting-edge treatment. Regardless what patient is at the cancer journey, a patient should be able to explore options in a clinical trial.
咁臨床實驗咧，其實都係包含喺我哋澳洲嘅醫療系統嘅其中一部分啦。咁佢最主要嘅呢一個作用咧，就係尋求一啲嘅比較最新嘅方法嚟到治療一啲相關嘅病情嘅。
Clinical trials are the best way to find new ways to treat and care for patients. There are many types of clinical trials, but everyone thinks about only drug trials. But I can show here there are clinical trials to discover new physical tests, new cognitive tests, new talking therapies, exercise, and so on.
咁我哋臨床實驗咧，基本上係目前嚟講尋找一啲治療或者護理我哋患者新方法嘅一個最佳嘅途徑啦。咁但係其實咧，臨床實驗咧係分好多種嘅。可能大家一開始聽到臨床實驗嘅時候，第一個反應可能都會覺得係咪知話有新嘅藥物咧？咁其實就唔一定係新藥嘅，佢亦都可能係包括一啲治療癌症嘅新方法啦，包括係一啲我哋可能做嘅新嘅測試方法啦，預防癌症嘅方法啦，甚至係護理我哋嘅癌症病患嘅方法嘅。
Even the previous speaker mentioned about clinical trials in acupuncture and herbal medicines and diet.
甚至咧，我哋一啲嘅呢一個臨床實驗咧，都係我哋嘅關於一啲研究，我哋點樣通過鍛鍊運動飲食包括針灸嚟到幫助患者嚟到治療嘅一啲最佳方法嘅。
Clinical trials usually start with an idea, a question the doctor or the researcher might have. For example, can the current treatment be improved? Is the best way we can do? Without clinical trials, researchers will not be able to find better ways to care and treat people with cancer or other health conditions.
臨床實驗其實好多時候咧都係始於一個諗法嘅，可能我哋啲醫生或者研究員咧，佢突然間有一日喺度諗緊，我哋呢家所做嘅對於我哋病人嚟講係咪已經係最好嘅方法咧？有冇一啲係可以更加優化嘅地方咧？咁佢哋就會去做一啲相關嘅研究同埋實驗嘅。如果冇咗臨床實驗咧，我哋係冇辦法可以嚟到發現或者發掘到一啲對於我哋病人嚟講更加好嘅方法嘅。
These are the things you should know about clinical trials and cancer clinical trials. One, participation is voluntary. You should never be coerced or forced to join a clinical trials without discussing with your family or members.
咁我哋依家同大家講下關於呢一個特別係癌症方面嘅臨床實驗，大家所需要知道嘅一啲嘢啦。首先嘅話咧，就係參與咧係呢個完全係自願嘅，冇人可以強迫你或者唔應該係被強迫參與當中啦。而且喺參與之前咧，都應該係已經充分咁樣同你啲屋企人咧係商量同埋了解過相關嘅情況嘅。
Clinical trials are regulated by the Human Research Ethics Committee. So it's a group of people independent from the hospital, independent from the researcher or the doctor that regulates and look for the patient's safety. And they can approve, they can decide if the clinical trials can be conducted or not.
咁同埋咧，我哋嘅呢個臨床實驗咧，都係受到呢一個監管嘅。目前咧係由我哋人類研究嘅道德委員會監管啦，佢一個獨立嘅機構啦，係獨立於你嘅主診醫生啦、研究人員啦、醫院啦等等嘅，佢哋係會獨立咁樣作出一個決定，或者係批准一個臨床實驗可唔可以進行嘅。
Another important thing is you can leave at any time. If you decided that you no longer want to participate in a clinical trial, even though you already started on a clinical trial, you can withdraw from the trial at any time. You will still be treated with the best available treatment for you that is available, regardless of the stage of the clinical trial, and your relationship with your doctor will not change.
咁同埋另外一點需要注意嘅咧，就係、就算你係已經自願咁參與到呢啲臨床實驗當中咧，喺任何嘅時間咧，只要你改變主意，都係可以退出嘅。咁退出之後咧，無論你已經係參加咗臨床實驗幾長時間啦，之後都唔意味着你嘅治療就會停止。退出咗臨床實驗之後咧，你仍然會獲得目前喺醫學上最新或者對你嘅情況嚟講最好嘅治療方法啦，同埋退出臨床實驗之後咧，你同你醫生嘅關係咧，亦都唔會受到破壞嘅。
And final one is there's no additional cost. You should not pay to be on a clinical trial, or there will be no additional costs for you compared to the standard of care.
最後一項咧就係佢冇額外嘅呢一個收費嘅，無論你係參加乜嘢嘅臨床實驗啦，都唔應該係會有收費，或者相比於我哋你平時正常嘅接受嘅治療嚟講咧，參加臨床實驗應該係唔會需要你支付任何額外方面嘅呢個費用嘅。
There are indeed risks, but there are also lots of benefits. And here on the screen, I can show you some benefits and risks in participating in a clinical trial.
咁當然我哋參加臨床實驗嘅話，有佢嘅優勢本身，同時亦都係有風險啦。咁接下來咧就會同大家介紹一下參加癌症臨床實驗相關嘅一啲風險同埋我哋嘅優勢嘅。
So why I'm here to talk about clinical trials today? The main reason is we know that people from multicultural communities tend to not participate in clinical trials.
咁點解其實我哋係今日嚟到呢度同大家分享臨床實驗嘅呢一個主題呢？就因為我哋睇翻我哋之前嘅一啲研究同埋數據顯示啦，好多我哋多元文化社區嘅病人呢，其實佢哋參與到臨床實驗嘅呢一個比率呢，相對嚟講呢係較低嘅。
There are many barriers to participate in clinical trials, which includes language. The information is not available in your language. The doctor might not offer because they see there will be an additional barrier in engaging an interpreter, and also cultural bias and misunderstanding of clinical trials.
我哋亦都係明白到造成咁樣嘅呢個情況呢，可能有好多唔同嘅原因或者障礙啦，其中包括可能語言唔通啦，或者啲相關嘅信息佢係冇中文版㗎啦，甚至醫生有時候佢哋可能係覺得如果要揾翻譯啊，同埋通過翻譯同呢一個病人交流係會比較麻煩少少啦，咁甚至係一啲文化上嘅呢個差異，都係會導致到我哋華人社區參與到臨床實驗當中嘅人數咧係較低嘅。
So we at the Cancer Institute, we work together with several people. We worked with doctors, patients, many organizations, researchers, nurses, and so on. So we co-developed resources to help people to understand what clinical trials are.
咁所以咧，我哋包括有我哋呢一個癌症嘅學會啦，有我哋唔同嘅醫生啦，我哋病患嘅代表啦、護士啦、研究人員啦、一啲非營利嘅組織等等咧，我哋共同咁樣去合作嚟到係打造咗一啲係針對於我哋嘅呢一個華人嘅一啲嘅臨床實驗嘅一啲信息嘅。
So the first resource I'm showing here is a fact sheet with basic information about clinical trials.
咁首先第一種俾大家睇到喺個幻燈片上邊嘅咧，就係我哋嘅呢一個成果啦。咁入邊咧就係包含咗一啲比較簡單或者係一份呢一個簡易嘅說明書，係關於癌症嘅臨床實驗嘅。
The same in Mandarin.
有國語同埋。
And I have some of the samples at the booth if you want to have some. But they're also available at the Cancer Institute website.
咁我哋喺後邊嘅呢一個學會嘅攤位咧，都有一啲實體版啦。如果大家有興趣嘅話咧，都可以去攞啲嚟到瀏覽或者睇下嘅。喺我哋嘅網站當中咧，亦都係可以揾到電子版嘅。
The important message here is also that you can engage an interpreting services with no additional cost for you.
咁同埋當中咧，亦都有包含咗一個好重要嘅信息咧，就係如果大家有需要嘅話咧，係可以尋求呢一個翻譯嘅幫助同埋協助，而且請翻譯咧係唔需要支付額外嘅呢一個費用嘅。
This is just a glossary, a couple of important messages translated as well, and the posters.
咁同埋我哋亦都係有一啲翻譯咗嘅海報啦，包括我哋喺臨床實驗當中咧一啲比較常用嘅一啲術語嘅一個單詞表嘅。
And I'm just going to show a video that's also on the Cancer Institute website, and it tells the story of a clinical trial participant.
我哋最後俾大家睇一個短片喺我哋網站度都有，係一個臨床實驗參與者佢嘅一個自述嘅故事嚟嘅。
In 2016, suddenly all the blood tests showed I had leukemia. My husband and my daughter, they just really feel the sky fall from the sky. You know, it's just so big for them. Luckily, the time I start my treatment, there is a clinical trial. So in the clinical trial, you also have a special assistance. So I feel every time I go to the hospital, I got 2 doctors look after me. The reason I love the clinical trial because it requires me to make a diary. I know what I write in my diary will be a reference for the doctor. So I never feel nervous about it. From my own experience, I suggest the people to take a clinical trial if you have the opportunity, not only for yourself, it's also for other people. I say I'm part of it, so I feel proud of myself.
How do I go back to this? I think I'm done. Thank you for listening and paying attention.
多謝大家。